Hey everyone, it's Allie with Colors of Hope Crafts ASMR. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be helping answer some beginning questions that people have about knitting and crocheting. So I hope you stick around for that. You may have heard in previous videos that I work at Michael's, and so I'm going to be trying to answer some of those questions that I tend to get when I am working at Michael's. So I frequently get questions like what type of hook do you use for knitting, or how many knitting and needles do you need for, or sorry, my dog just came in here. Aaron, I lost my train of thought. So I frequently get questions like how many knitting needles do you need for crocheting, or how many hooks do you need for knitting? And so that is what inspired me to make a video about what the difference is between knitting and crocheting. And in future videos, I'll go into the absolute beginner's information that you need for just crocheting or just knitting. But for now, I thought I would start with a video that answered the question, what's the difference between knitting and crocheting? So probably the biggest difference is that with knitting, you use a knitting needle, and with crocheting, you use a crochet hook. So that's the first difference. And with knitting, you can use a circular needle like this one, and it can be made out of plastic or steel or aluminum or wood or bamboo like this one is. You also have straight needles, and then finally you have double pointed needles. And for double pointed needles are for making things like socks or things, and or for things that need to be connected in a circle, that you can't use double pointed needles for. With crocheting, you're going to be using hooks, and hooks there are different types of hooks you can use. This one is an aluminum one, and you can also get a bamboo one. There's another aluminum one. They come in a variety of sizes. It depends on the project you're trying to do. I personally like hooks like this that have a silicone grip on the end of it, because it makes it a little easier, in my opinion, to get the crocheting done, and I'm less likely to tire my hands out, particularly on a big project. Now, on to another big difference is the type of stitches that you can do. I will say that you can knit or crochet a sweater, you can knit or crochet a scarf, you can knit or crochet just about anything. But the difference is how the stitches come out looking. So this scarf is called Find Your Fade by Drea Renee Knits. I knit this scarf. It fades gradually from the green and all the way to the bright pink. And it took a lot of yarn. It took a lot of yarn, and in fact, it took parts of 7 skeins of yarn. But personally, I think it turned out really good. I'm really happy with it. But as this is what it looks like when you just knit back and forth, or it's on every side. This is how it turns out looking. And the same thing is the case with this blanket that I made for our foster kids. With this blanket, or this shawl, I made this with some of my hand spun yarn. For this section, and I knit on one side and purled on the other side. And I don't know if you can tell the difference and how it turned out. But when you knit and purl all on both sides, it ends up in this V pattern. And let's see if I can give you another example. Oh, I thought I brought another one down. Looks like I didn't grab it. Oh well. But that gives you, a general idea of how it would look. One thing I enjoy doing with knitting is knitting lace. So in this section, and I did a big section that was just lace. And if you can believe it, this shawl was knit freehand. And what that means is I did not use a pattern for it. So in addition to spinning the yarn, I knit the shawl, and it's so warm, and I love it. All right, now on to crocheting. So with crocheting, there are different the stitches look different than the with crocheting, the stitches look different than they do for the knitting. So that's how a single crochet stitch looks. And can you see how it looks different than a knit stitch? Maybe you can tell a little bit better on this. This is one of the hats that I made for our foster kids. It's so with crocheting, you can there are more of a, I guess there are more basic stitches that you can do. There's the slip stitch, the chain, and single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and treble crochet. And from there you can do a variety of different combinations of stitches to make different patterns. Here is an example of a book. This has a bunch of different crochet patterns and motifs in it. So one thing I like about crocheting as you can do make 3D objects with it, or at least I've figured out how to do that. And there may be a way to do it with knitting as well, but I just haven't learned how to do it yet. Now, this is an example of a 3D object that I made through crocheting. So I think that's it for basic differences between knitting and crocheting. So they have different types of stitches, as you can obviously make similar things with them, but it will end up looking different. And you use a hook for crocheting and needles for knitting. Those are kind of the big differences between knitting and crocheting. And if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will be happy to answer them. I hope this video has been really helpful for you guys, and I will be making new videos soon where I can share more about the very basic things you need to know in order to learn how to knit or crochet. And that'll cover the stuff you need to know even before you start knitting and crocheting. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.